Hey guys, and welcome back to another war video. So today D69 is going to be taking on New Avengers 2 or 211. Today we're bringing back the face cam. I have a few less issues with the lighting right now, just because, let's show this. It's literally 4 minutes after the war ended. So I recorded the results screen and I'm recording this right away. I've already done all the editing while the war was going on. So yeah, we're good. We have a Terex boss today. This is a rank 3 6-star with Protect. So I did send a Havoc to that. You guys are going to see what happened. But yes, we are actually going in with the exact same team. So even when my team does not change, I always go into the edit screen just to be sure. So we have Quake, Magik, and Warlock today. Warlock has 2 fights. Quake has 5. Magik has 2. I have 9 fights today. I don't know. Quake has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Quake fights, 2 Warlock, 1 Magik. Right. Okay, so first up, we're on Path 7, Section 1. Originally, I would put myself on Path 6, and then one of the guys I just had to find a path for because we had 2 people on backup, and I just needed to place one of them, so I ended up swapping myself and someone else. And then yeah, anyways, this is the kinetic node with the power drain. I've taken this fight with Warlock before. It's pretty simple, but basically you just have to send like a vision or a Quake here, and it's such an easy fight. So it is a little bit long just because you're in class disadvantage against Blade, but it's a very safe fight. And let me talk about the title. So the title of this war is The Perfect War. You guys are going to see why. But yeah, let's just keep this going. So I only use a 10% green boost, 15% health, and 15% attack. So I'm only boosted 25% in both my stats. That's normally what I do for Section 1 in like the Mix Master and Power Snack minis, both of which I'm taking today. Just because I find it like really easy, and there's not really any defender that makes those fights hard. Maybe I might use a 20% boost for Mixmaster R3 Korg, but I can't think of any other defender that I would boost up huge for in Section 1. As you guys can see, this Blade, that was such an easy fight. Sure, it takes a minute and a half. Slightly annoying, but it's not a big deal. That was only 7 Quake cycles, I believe. So, or 7 or maybe 8 at the most. But yeah, now we'll go up to the CMM, and originally I was going to use Magik for this fight, and even going into this fight, I'm like, okay, use Magik, and then I just clicked on Quake. I'm like, why not? I mean, worst case scenario, I lose a little bit of health on Quake, and I have to save potions, but there's probably only like a 5% chance that I take a hit in this fight. And the upside is that I save a few potions using Magik. So, of course, we're just going to Quake it. It's going to be like a little long. I think this is just over a minute. This is a rank 3 6-star, by the way. A rank 3 unduped 6-star. I don't know why you would rank 3 an unduped CMM, but this person did. So, cool. Yeah, it's a little bit of a long fight, and I'm not too worried about it. CMM's very easy to Quake. So right there, she was just being really annoying, and I hit her with a light intercept. I don't remember if that was intentional or not. It looks intentional, but it might have been an accident. In fact, it probably was an accident. But I'm still very safe. I've yet to make a mistake. I take 1 blocked hit in this fight, 1 parry, and then over the course of the next few fights, Salve is going to heal up Quake for me. So I don't even need to worry about that 1 parry. But yeah, this CMM's going down pretty well. The nodes on here, I believe there's Matador on this node. I can't remember anything else that's on this node, but I think there's Matador. But usually this is a fight that we use, or like, normally no one gets placed on this node, but when they do, typically a fight that we use to charge up like a Morning Star or like an Apocalypse or a Guillotine on this node, just because Matador works out so well for those 3. But yeah, now we're going to move up to Power Snack, and we have a rank 3 6-star unduped Sorcerer Supreme. I mean, it's a bold rank up. Yeah, you see it is a rank 3, 200k health. I actually forgot at this point, because this was my first fight not using Quake. I forgot I was running Resonate, and right there, she didn't hit into my block, so I couldn't parry her, but instead, she backed off and then charged in, so I decided just to dex the attack because I wasn't too worried about the power. She threw an L2. I wish she'd thrown an L1 because I would have healed from either an armor break or a slow debuff on myself, so I would have ended this fight at 100%, but this is my only Magik fight, and you see we're going to go for some intercepts. Not too many, just a few in this fight. But yeah, it's a pretty safe fight. I believe right here I don't have enough power, and she's actually going to get up to almost a bar before a power lock. Maybe that's not here. No, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I forgot I was running Resonate, so using Magik is the only champ that Resonate's actually going to affect the fight in a negative way. So it's just going to be a little bit longer. She's healing 94 extra per second, 179 when I have the power lock on as well. But I am running 1 point despair, so the healing is a little bit lower, so it's lowered by 10% with those 2 debuffs, but that's really nothing. I usually place my defense with 5 out of 5 assassin and 1 point in despair. Maybe I should only put 1 point in assassin and 3 points in despair. I'm not sure, but it doesn't seem to make a difference anyways. So there we go. That fight is pretty much going down. You see, our L2 is actually critting for a lot of damage. That did almost 12k, and then I believe I have a L2 here, or maybe it's in the next Warlock fight. I think it's in the Warlock fight where I have like a massive crit. Okay, 10k at the end of the fight, really not that bad. So I'm pretty happy with how that fight goes. That was my only Magik fight. Originally, I had another champion that I was going to use for a different fight, but I was, it didn't really make sense, so I sent an R3 Omega to that fight, who destroyed it, and then I just brought Magik for that Sorcerer. So very easy. Now we'll go into a rank 3 6-star Professor X on Mixmaster. So this is a pretty bad placement. You just got to parry. You can do actually 5-hit combos against Mixmaster if you land 2 light attacks while they're stunned. So you see, for the beginning of this fight, we're going to go light, light, medium, light, medium. And that actually works really well for Mixmaster. So right here, you'll notice that every time I am dashing back after I finish a combo, and that's just because the only hit on on Professor X, the only hit on Professor X that you can parry stun him, unless you're using like Cull Obsidian or Proxima or something like, or someone like that, the only hit you can parry stun is the first medium attack, so you have to dash back to guarantee that that's the attack he uses. But yeah, you'll see we're really not getting Resonate too much, so I think he throws like maybe 1 L1 in this fight. This fight also has Power Focus 1, but we're pretty much ignoring that. And then here we're going to have him miss. Here I was not sure about the miss timer, but it didn't matter because he was still stunned. We're going to throw another L2. We're at 97%, so we're looking really healthy right here. He throws a heavy. I wasn't sure if I would kill him, but medium, light, medium, 14k crits on each of the medium attacks. So now we're actually boosting up really big. This is the same night, so this is a few hours later. I think this was about 5 hours later. This is a rank 3 6-star Domino on Spite Powerful from Afar. And I had someone check this defender. This guy placed without willpower, which means invulnerability boost I will use. So this is still a great fight for Warlock. He is still the #1 option in my opinion, even without willpower. It just means that our Resonate isn't going to be draining, so the only way I'm going to be draining is by throwing an L1, throwing an L3, or by parrying a non-contact hit, which does not happen very often against Domino. But yeah, as you see, we do use up our invulnerability boost, our 1 hit of the invulnerability boost right there. And then right here, she starts evading, so I decide, okay, I'm just going to let her throw a heavy attack and then throw my L2, just because even if she evades, I will have enough space then to get back. And I did use tech boost, even though this is my only Warlock fight, just because I want to be extra safe. And she does throw an L2 here, so I notice right here she does not have evade. I power drained her. I throw another L2. 0 crits on the whole L2 except for the last hit, which is a little unfortunate. But there you go. She is down 90%. The only health that I lost in that entire fight was from a crit fail. So as far as I'm concerned, that is a absolutely perfect fight. So now we'll go up to this Doom, and the game just decided to like give me like a little 10-second break before it decided to load up to Doom, but that's all right. So yeah, we go to Doom. This is a rank 3 6-star Doom on kinetic aspect of evolution, and this is a pretty bad placement. Either Magik, Cap IW, Quake, they could all take this pretty easily, but obviously Quake will always be the best option for kinetic transference if you can Quake it. So this is going to be a pretty simple fight. And you'll notice I'm doing crazy damage to this guy with how boosted I am. So I have a 30% attack and health, I have a 15% attack, and I have a 15% health boost. I might even have a 20% health boost on. Depends on if I had one or not. But at this point, we were winning the war by 3 deaths, but the war was nowhere near done yet. We were at like 100, and they were around 40 attacker kills in, but we were winning by a lot. So we thought we were going to win, but I just want to be extra safe, so I am boosting to the absolute max. Plus, I also threw on tech boosts. I believe my invulnerability lasted onto this fight. I think it actually ends up lasting me onto the next fight as well, but I don't take hits in either fights, so there's no way for you guys to see that. So yeah, that fight goes down really easy. It was a perfect fight. And now we have an R3 6-star Korg. The R3s do not stop. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 R3s in a row. So I faced an R5 first and then 8 R3s in a row, which is cool. But yeah, this is Korg on Powerful from Afar. He's being a little bit annoying, and he decided to dash back a few times. And I think I do actually make one very small mistake in this fight, because he gets stunned earlier in the cycle than I was expecting, and I end up throwing off my heavy attack. But it doesn't push him to an L1, so it doesn't end up mattering. And going into this fight, I kind of thought that I could dash back a bunch of times in the corner, and then he started playing into me, so I'm like, okay, maybe I don't have to. And then he started going super passively. He played super passively, so I did. But yeah, you notice, even though this is an R3 Korg or Quaking, I'm not even speeding up this fight, because it's not even that bad. It's not that long. This guy plays without willpower, contact. I should mention, last war, they had 8 out of 10. Not 2-1-1. Last war was Stara? I have no clue who last war was. I think it was Stara. But yeah, last war was 8 out of 10 without willpower. This time it was like 4 people, I think, without willpower. So we're seeing more and more people placing without willpower. But yeah, this Korg does not have willpower, which just makes him that much easier to Quake. I don't even know who you would use against this fight, if not for... Yeah, I can't even think of another champ other than Quake that would... Because Quake just destroys this fight. Doom maybe could do this fight, but the problem is you'd have to get all the rock stacks off first. So you might want to use the white mags pre-fight. I'm sure Omega could... I don't know if Omega could do this. Omega could maybe do this fight, but Quake is just infinitely better for this fight. So there, I had the invulnerability boost still on from the 2 fights ago. Didn't matter. Just absolutely shredded him. And yeah, that's basically a perfect fight. And then I actually needed help getting to this middle here. So not Tilda. The guy who went to the right was J-Gaze. Right, so J-Gaze helped me out there. And now we have an R3 Wasp on Rage. I think the point of putting Wasp on Rage is so that someone would Quake it, because if you mess up with Quake, Wasp always goes right into a heavy attack after making her first hit when you're facing her on defense. Not always, but like 90 to 95% of the time. So if you do make a mistake in this fight, you just die instantly. Like, you die instantly. So that's pretty simple. I mean, I Quaked R3 Wasp on Rage in War 5. It was either 4 or 5 when I went past 6 Section 2. So it's just such an easy fight. It's so easy. And I mean, I'm not going to make a mistake while quaking. The chances of me making a mistake while quaking are very, very low. But yeah, half down in 1 minute, which means this fight's going to take 2 minutes. I did speed this up by 0.25, so just a quarter faster, but I also did that for the last fight just because that one's a little longer than 2 minutes, I think. I think that one's around 3 minutes. So yeah, Wasp on Rage, not the best placement. Anyone you can Quake easily on Rage is not good. Even Killmonger on Rage is very, very easy to Quake. I think Doom with Mr. Fantastic synergy is maybe better, but if you have a good enough Quaker, Quake is the best option for that fight. So there we go. That fight goes down really, really easily, and there you go. Perfect Wasp fight. Now we'll go into the last fight. So I did have Ali Bra come up the left side, and he took Elsa Bloodstone on the Power Focus 1, Unblockable Special 1, Hurt Locker Mini. He used a White Magneto pre-fight for that fight, and then he used his second White Magneto pre-fight on this fight, which is a R3 6-star Kingpin on 200% enhanced power gain, Unblockable Special 2. So this is a pretty easy fight to Quake. Even after his buff, it's very easy to Quake Kingpin, but as you guys can see, this guy plays with willpower, and it's going to be a pretty long fight because each of my Quake cycles is doing about 7%, so 4 cycles to do 30%, which means this fight is going to take about 13 Quake cycles, which is a little over 3 minutes. No, it's not a little over 3 minutes. It's between 2.5 with the delay that you get after your shocks end, if you're not able to keep holding heavy. So it's about 2.5 minutes based on the start of this fight. But yeah, this fight, it's pretty easy. I think Kingpin at R3 does have a place in defense. I don't really know where that place is, because when we saw him in War 4 on Node 47, I sent Guardian there and he quaked it. He did die once, but that was a user death. And then he revived, went right back in, and soloed effortlessly. So it's hard to say where Kingpin is best, but it's obviously not this node, so do not place him here. As if you place him here against me, I'll just Quake it every war. It's so easy. So yeah, this fight's already taken 2 minutes, and yeah, you guys might have noticed my Quake's back to a full yellow bar. No potions used. In fact, through 9 fights today, I took 9 fights, I used 0 items, and every single one of my champs is at 90% health or higher. All of them. Magik is at like 91 or 92, I think. I think she's the lowest, and then Warlock is at 90%. So yeah, we just absolutely destroyed this war. Probably my best war ever. But yeah, 9 fights, 0 potions used, all champs at full health, and we win the war, which is awesome. So we did win 8-12 against 2-on-1. We gave up 3 deaths in the last like 5 fights, which was unfortunate because we would have had 5 deaths, which would have been our record. But BG1 had a nice war with only 2 deaths. BG2 had 3 deaths, and BG3 had 3 deaths. I'll pause it right at the end. But I know I always make it like a funny thing about calling out Run when he dies. He did die again today. He died to the Terex boss because I showed him the video. I outlined how to do the fight, and he more or less ignored me. I think he just misunderstood what I was saying. So if he had asked me to specify when I thought he understood, because he said, yes, I understand. If I'd specified, he probably would have sold the fight, because other than taking a 5-hit combo right at the end, he didn't make any huge mistakes, because what he thought he should do, like what he was doing, was not what he should have been doing. And if he was doing it correctly, he would have soloed. And then Finn also died twice today, but that's just a crazy fluke. I think that's the first time he's died in like 6 wars, so not a problem. But yeah, that is actually going to be the end of the video. After this war, we are 5-3. Of course, the bracket has not yet updated, but we are in 7th in Masters. I think we went up another 3 spots, so we're in 7th. So which means that all we have to do is win either one more war, probably gets us Masters, but 2 to be super safe. And we're going to be at 0 deaths this season still through 8 wars, which is awesome. And our PSR is 75 out of 75. So 75 fights taken this season in 8 wars. That's pretty nice with a 100%, obviously. And carrying over the 14 from last season, we are at a deathless streak of 89 fights. So yeah, 2 more wars and I should cross that 100 mark, which would just be a massive milestone for me. I've never gotten even close to that. The best I've probably done in the past is like 65, 70. So even right now, I'm on my best streak ever. But yeah, Run is actually going to be planning War 9 because I have to work. So that's going to be interesting to see if he assigns me a death or not. But yeah, that is going to be the end of the war. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.